All right, everybody, we're going to get started today. Can everybody see my screen? If you're on camera, give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen, or let me know that you can see it. It should say pricing to sell. All right, I got a thumbs up. Thank you, Sandy McNeil. I appreciate you greatly. So what this presentation is about is not just getting listings, although pricing homes properly is the #1 key to get listings. It's about getting them sold once you get them, which is the most important thing. So today, again, we're going to talk about pricing your listings to sell, and also how much that helps you get listings, because the single best thing you can do to get listings, honestly, is to sell the home next door. If you ask what we've built our business on over the years, it's honestly just selling the home next door. And if you sell the home next door, a lot of good things happen. Sorry, trying to get you guys where you don't get the glow off the top of my forehead. All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to talk about before. So things you do before your listing. We're going to talk about things to do during the listing. So we're going to talk about specific listing scripts, and we're going to talk about after your listing, weekly calls, and how you use those weekly calls as an opportunity to get price decreases and an opportunity to sell the home. Before we get started, my personal home's for sale right now, by the way, and I just had the same talk. My wife and I just had the same talk that I would have with all my clients. If you're going to sell the home, you've got to change the price, you got to paint the home, or you got to be patient. And that's it. All right. So here we go. So we're going to talk about, before you even go on the listing, what you can do to sell your home. There we go. All right, real quick, if you need to use the restroom, do. Don't worry about stepping out. If you spot errors, keep it to yourself. Just kidding. Let me know after. If you think the class was great, let Keller Williams know. If you want us to teach again, let KW know as well. So here we go. So before the listings, so people get caught up in comps, and comps are the single most important thing you can do. So let's talk about a couple key things with comps that a lot of people don't do. When you pull traditional comps, you're going to start by selecting the address in MLS. Or so you're in the MLS, you're going to put the address in. And I like to do start searches within a quarter mile of the house if I can. So I'm going to look at homes within a quarter mile of the house if I can. If it's one story, I'm going to look at one stories. If it's two stories, I'm going to look at two stories. So I'm going to look at stories, or I'm going to look at opportunities to by the way, I'm trying to unmute you guys so you guys can talk real quick. All right, so feel free to talk. I think I've unmuted most of you guys. So when you prepare comps, it's just start with the address, start within a quarter mile of the house. It's really simple. You want to pull expireds and terminateds and withdrawals when you pull homes too. A lot of people just pull solds and actives and pendings. The reason I want to pull expireds and terminateds is I want to show people what has not sold. So I want to talk to people about what hasn't sold, because that's just as important as what has sold. So I'm going to spend time talking to people about what hasn't sold as well. Sorry, camera issue. There. All right. So when you pull solds, pull expireds and terminateds. And again, that's just as important of a stat as anything else. So you're going to want to give people the opportunity to see what has not sold. Again, it's key. You want to give people a chance to have what has not sold. All right, so once you've have your regular comps and just your regular comps, so we're just going to stay with them, you're going to want to calculate months of inventory. Okay, so what is months of inventory? It's how long things have been on the market based on what's on the market. So if 6 homes have sold, and 6 homes have sold in the last 6 months, and 6 homes are on the market, you have 6 months of inventory. If 12 homes have sold and 6 homes are on the market, you have 3 months of inventory. The most important stat that you can go into your listing with is months of inventory. That's the single most important stat, to let them know how long they can prepare to sell their home. Months of inventory is important, and days on the market are really important. So those are 2 key stats. Okay, when possible, compare 1 stories to 1 stories, 2 stories to 2 stories, homes with pools to homes with pools. If you have to compare 1 stories to 2 stories, you can. I'd rather not. Also, pay really close attention to school trackers. You want to look at how good the school is, but you also want to pay attention and make sure that the homes you're pulling all go to the same elementary, junior high, and high school if possible. There's an example, many of you who have seen my presentations have heard me tell many times over the years. We had the exact same floor plan across the street one time, and the exact same floor plan across the street, one of the properties sold for 800 and the other one sold for 400,000. And the difference was one of them was zoned to HISD and the other one was zoned to Spring Branch. So the one that was zoned to Spring Branch sold for more. So you want to pay attention to 1 stories versus 1 stories, 2 stories versus 2 stories in schools. Also, before you go on a listing, a lot of people don't do this. Use your map feature in Google and see what it backs up to. So I won't go on a listing that backs to Walmart without knowing it backs to Walmart. That's something you want to know. If something has power lines around it, you want to know. So you get online and see what's around the property. Use your Google map. Also, a lot of people aren't doing this, and you should. And Laura, he's taught me this trick. Definitely get in CSS and use the CSS searches and price ranges. So you're going to want to go into CSS and see additionally what things are showing more. For instance, if you're having twice as many showings from 350 to 400 as you are from 400 to 450, and your client wants to price at 405, that tells you a lot. Okay. So you definitely want to do that. All right. Also, always calculate a net sheet with 3 options. I'm going to show you my sheet in just a second that we do that, but I never go in with one pricing option for a client. I always go in with a motivated seller pricing option, a normal pricing option, and a stubborn seller pricing option. I can also call it an ugly house pricing option, an okay pricing housing option, and a gorgeous house option. So I go in with 3 pricing options for every listing. And again, I'm going to share that sheet with you guys in just a second. All right, here we go. This is that sheet. So in here, I have a $210,000 sell price and a $220,000. I have a net sheet that calculates what each person walks away from. So the people can, if they sell it for 200, they walk away with 185. If they sell at 230, they walk away with 203, or 220, I'm sorry, they walk away with 203. I have everything calculated in here. At the bottom, you'll see a price worksheet. What that price worksheet is for me to put in 1234 Arbola Street, 1275 Arbola Street, 1254 Cam Benning Street, or whatever. Put in the different streets and compare the upgrades in that home, the flooring, the lot description, and the price per square foot with what you're considering. So I literally go through and make my buyers, make my sellers say, okay, here's this house, here's that house, here's this house. Is this home better than mine? Is it equal to mine, or is it superior? And if they say, if they're one of those sellers that their home is superior in every category, even though they've made no upgrades since 1974, that's tough. But most people are pretty realistic. So I go through this sheet. I work with them to tally what their client or what they think the competition is. And I show them where the competition is priced. And then I ask them the most important question in the whole presentation, which is, what do you think the home should be priced for? We'll come back to that in a second. Notice I didn't say, I think your home should be priced at. I said the question you asked is, what do you feel, seller, your home should be sold at? We'll get back to that question in just a second, okay? So we're still in the preparation stage. In the preparation stage, I also pull something that I call trend reports. So I pull sales from the last year or 6 months, whichever. Then I pull homes from the previous year, okay? So why would I pull homes from the previous year and homes versus this year? It's really tough not to have you guys in the room to respond for me. Here we go. The reason I would do that is to show them, hey, if homes are selling, let's say I pulled a section of Cinco Ranch, and last year homes were selling at 130 a square foot, and in the last year they're selling at 120 a square foot. I would want to be able to show that to them. Basically, homes in your neighborhood are dropping in value. If homes in their neighborhood are going up a little, just a little bit, I usually don't share that trend report. But if the trend report is something that's major, I share it, especially if prices are going down. I want to spot that trend in pricing so we can price for that and price a little below market. So trend reports are something that most realtors don't pull. When I go up against other realtors, the question I ask often is, did your other realtor pull homes from last year so we can see where trends are? And when they say no, they didn't, of course I say, I never say anything negative about the other realtor. I just ask, did the other realtor go out and look at your AC system? No. Did the other realtor pull trend reports? So you're not saying anything negative. You're just saying one little word, and I don't even know if that counts as a word. So before your presentation, you're going to want to do a trend report. All right. You also are going to want to be really confident about where trends are going, and if possible, make them a graph. Here's where prices were last year. Here's where they are this year. If they continue to drop at this rate, they'll be here in 6 months. So really do your math ahead of time. The people who do their math ahead of time are people whose listings sell. And again, people whose listings that are sell get more listings. Over the years, people say, hey, where do you get all your listings from? And we have sources we get listings from. We do, just like anybody else. But most of my listings still come from because I sold the house next door. Hey, you sold my buddy's house in 2 weeks. We just ran stats. Homes listed with the C10 sell team sell about a month and a half faster than homes listed with other agents. We share that, and it's because we spend time doing the pricing up front. So all of these are things you should do before the listing presentation. All right, so when you're there, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to walk the home. So when you show up at a home, you're going to ask to walk it, and you're going to say, I would like to walk the home without you walking me around because I want to show it through, I want to see it through a buyer's eyes. Did the previous agent do that? And when they say no, again, you say, I want everybody to practice that on the count of 3, even though I can't hear you. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Did the other agent do that? No. Now, did I say anything negative about the other agent?
No.
No. But what I did is I made our place more powerful. Did the other agent walk out and look at the ACs? No. Really? And the reason you want to look at the home yourself, you can use this tie-up script for later. After you sign with me today, you can walk the home and show me all the pluses and minuses, but I just want to see the home through the buyer's eyes. Again, did the other agent do that? No. All right. So you're going to, once you've seen the home and you've sat down, I introduced my team first. And the reason I introduced my team is I want them to understand who we are. But then I spent a lot of time, for those of you who are individual agents who sell against teams, you say things like, well, with the team, you get the whole team, you don't get an individual agent. And teams say, well, with an individual agent, you don't get what teams can do. I try to give people the best of both worlds. In my presentation, because I'm a team, I say, hey, you have this whole team to support you, but you only have one agent in that process. Do you know who that agent is? Me. And you can contact me at any time. Now, it might go faster if you contact Annette or Fred, but you're still welcome to call me. When you call me, oftentimes I will call Annette or Fred or Michelle or Paul, but you're still welcome to call me. So make sure, if you're a team, make sure to stress that you are their agent, because individual agents will be selling against that. And if you're a team, stress the strength of the team, but make sure you say you're still the agent. Okay. All right. So agent's full report with photos. So that worksheet I just told you about, let's see if I've got it next. No, previous. So when I have the agent full report with photos, I go back to this sheet we talked about earlier, this sheet right here, and I go through listing by listing with them, and I stack it up to their listing in this section down here. Okay. This is where you want to take time in your listing. Okay. Don't be shy about spending time here. Okay. You go over the age of the roof, the bones, the eye candy, the flooring, the countertops, the outdoor amenities, and the wild cards like garage apartments and pool houses. So if a home has a garage apartment, does that count in the square footage of the home?
No.
It does not. Exactly. The garage square footage does not. Now, does it count as a plus that you can add value to? Yeah, probably at about 60 or 70% of what you add the house at, even if it's as nice as the house. The only exception is if the garage apartment is connected to the house and uses the same AC system. Sometimes you can get away with counting it as square footage. Okay, So you should know all of those things in advance. We have a sheet where we ask, do you have granite countertops? Do you have hardwood floors? Is there a garage apartment? Is there a pool house? Tell me anything unusual about your home, okay? The most unusual things I've seen poles in homes for workouts or other things. I've seen a trampoline in the floor of a house. I've seen some strange stuff. All right, so after reviewing their home, if they agree with a price that is lower than your price, go straight ahead. So this is where you ask, after you go through all of the other listings, the first thing you say is, where do you feel your home should be priced? And they'll might say, hey, you're the expert. And I say, I am an expert on pricing, but I also want to make sure that we can work together. Where do you feel you should be priced? And I'm hoping they give me a number. And I hope it's a low enough number where it will sell. If it is, I don't have to use all my pricing scripts. I can't tell you how many times we've had agents on our team get in trouble because they told the client first, I can get $525 for your home. And then the price of oil went from $80 to $30 a barrel. I can get $800 for your home. I can get $350 for your home. No, you have them tell you the price that they think they can get for their home, if you can get there. When you do that, I'm going to go back a couple pages. Again, I'm going to go back to this form that we use. This form, when they say, this is the price I think we can get, I put client selected price right there if it's low enough. If it's not low enough, I'll put it there temporarily and come back to this sheet in a minute. Okay, so next. All right, so that form is very important. I use that form a lot. So if they agree with your price, move straight to paperwork. And if their price is higher, then you begin scripts. So I tell people, go, well, what if I thought the home could sell for $325 and they came in at $299? Do I go at $299? Yes, you do. And the reason you do is a home that's priced too low was going to get multiple offers. And in a bad market, a home that's too low has a chance to sell. Okay, so if you can, get their number. If they don't, it's time to begin pricing scripts. And the one thing I want to stress about pricing scripts, people think they're for our benefit. They're not. Pricing benefits are for the seller's benefit to get them to a price they need to be successful. Okay, you're helping them be successful. That's all you're doing. And it's also to avoid the painful rejection that the market's going to give them if they hit the market overpriced. So if someone hits the market overpriced, they're just going to get rejected, and you guys know that, right? There's nothing worse than a client calling you every week and saying, why hasn't your home sold? Okay. The other reason you want to hit them with all the pricing scripts and get their home price right is to make them look smart. Not to make you look smart, to make them look smart. If they hit the home price right, they look smart. Okay. So here we go. Again, the most important question is, where do you think the home should be priced? So the first pricing script I talk about is what I call the pricing pyramid or the power triangle. I tell people there are three things that control where your home will sell, and I'm not one of them, and neither are you. They're price, market, and condition. And I draw a triangle just like this on their board. And I say your home will sell where price, market, and condition meet. Hey, that was pretty cool, right? Thumbs up. All right, where price, market, and condition meet is where your home will sell. Look at that. Boom. Your home's going to sell right there where price, market, and condition meet. And as soon as you get to where price, market, and condition meet, the better. Have any of you in the room used the power triangle before? All right, if you haven't, you should definitely start. What the power triangle does is it puts you on the same side of the table as the client. So the power triangle, the most important thing does, it's no longer the client versus you, it's you and the client versus the market. We want to be on the same side of the table as the client, not on the opposite side. And that's what this does for you. Okay. All right, next. So power triangle, best thing you can do. It's a piece of paper. And remember, price, market, and condition. And your home will sell where price, market, and condition meet. All right. So of course the computer script is number one. Look, I know my home is special. It's going to sell for more. That's where you go back to that worksheet that you pulled out. Look, that home that you're going up against had an outdoor kitchen. That home had brand new hardware throughout and new paint. When you go to a store, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, and buy a computer, if another computer has a bigger monitor, more memory, and a better processor, do you pay more for that or less for that? Why pay more for it? Well, that home has a bigger monitor than you. It has more memory and it has a better processor. So again, that's one way to really walk them through understanding what their home is. That's an old Keller Williams script that's been around a while. It's one of my least favorites, but it's very effective. This is my single favorite script, and anybody on my team will tell you they get sick of hearing this script. It's a script that I call the knob script or the button script. It's hard to demonstrate this on video, but I'll do my best. Okay. So when people are looking for homes online, do they look for homes priced between $129.99 and $229? No, they look for homes between 100 and 250 or 100 and 150, right? 150 and 200, 200 and 250. So the single best place you can price a home is exactly on the knobs. 400,000, 500,000, 300,000. If you're priced exactly at 400,000, let's say, you get the $300,000 to $400,000 lookers. You also get the 400 to 500s, the 350s to 4s, the 4s to 450s by being priced exactly on 400. If you're priced at $399, you cut your showings significantly. But if you're priced at $401, you cut your showings by 2/3 because there's twice as many people always looking in the lower price range as the higher price range. You never use this script to talk someone up in value. If someone says $395, you don't use the script to talk them up to 400. If someone's at 405, you use the script to get them down to 400. Okay. The one disagreement is on the lower price stuff. I'd rather see something at 250 versus 249. But in general, you want to be priced on the knobs. And again, the setup was when I was a kid, $1.99 was better than $2. But in the computer world, $2 is better than $1.99. Does everybody understand that that's how HAR works? It sorts by 150s to 250s, 250s to 350s. That's how Zillow and all these other sites work. So it's really important to be priced on the knobs. Okay, everybody got it?
Mm-hmm.
We'll move to our next script. All right. So next, we're going to go into the scripts that I call the Kaki Scripts. So I tell people all the time that people want their surgeons and their realtors a little cocky. You don't want to go into surgery and have the surgeon say to you, I think I can perform this surgery. You want the surgeon to say, I can perform this surgery while watching Iron Man, reading an Iron Man comic book, conducting an interview with Robert Downey Jr. while playing with an Iron Man model. That's how sure I am I can perform the surgery. They want you as confident or as cocky about selling. Okay. So some of these next scripts are going to make you sound a little cocky or a little confident, and that's okay. Okay. You can dial it down or dial it up. Honestly, people hire me for cocky. They do. So I have to go with that. That's why they hire me. They feel good about the fact that I'm confident with what I do. All right. So the first script is, do you want to like me now or like me later? All right, Graciela. All right, Graciela, you have a decision to make. I can give you the price you're talking about. I can give you $220, Graciela. However, you will like me today if I give you that price. But you have to decide, Graciela, do you want to like me today or do you want to like me later?
Today.
And you'll say something like, well, what do you mean? Well, if I give you your $220 price, you're going to like me today because I gave you your price. But you're going to hate me 6 months from now when your home doesn't sell. But Gabriela, the best thing I can do is be really, Graciela, the best thing I can do is be really tough on you today. I mean, really tough. And get that price of 200 that we need to sell. And you get 6 offers or 7 offers and your home goes crazy and it sells. And it might not, but if we get you to the right price, your home's going to sell quickly. And then 6 months from now, you're not going to hate me. You're going to love me because you're in your new home.
Yes.
So Graciela, do you want to like me today?
Today and later.
Or do you want to
Every
like
moment. Tell me the truth.
like me later?
Tell me the truth. Tell me what I have to do.
Yeah, exactly. So that is a really good script to get people, again, on the same page with you. Like, I can live with you not liking me. What I can't live with is your home not selling. Because then you're not going to like me. And I like to be liked. But I'm willing to not be liked today to be liked later. All right. So the next script is people will just make offers. All right. And by the way, Graciela, thank you so much, Ms. Lombard. All right. So people will just make offers. Iris, no, they won't. People won't just make offers, not if they don't see it. Right now, your home is priced at $375, and it should be priced at $350. The people with the $350 budget are out there looking at homes that are priced at $350. They're not looking at homes that are priced at $375. And the people that are looking at your home are comparing it against homes that should really be priced at $375, and your home doesn't stack up. So the people that are seeing your home are going to reject it, and the people who would buy your home are not seeing it because they're looking in their price range. Well, tell them to just make an offer. They can't make an offer, Iris, because they won't see it. Okay?
That is true, but I have one thing I want to say about the market nowadays. I go across buyers looking at the house for $250, and they say, I want to make an offer for $200. That's for the COVID or what is going on?
But by the way, and Iris, homes are selling better now than they were this time last year. Because every listing we have, the C10 sell team has 35, I think Paul counted earlier, 34 contracts on the board. I think 7 by Michelle, 8 by Laura, 5 by Steve Irish. I mean, we're killing it, and it's because we're making the offers we have to make to get homes right now, and low offers aren't getting it. So if you have that client that's going to stomp around making $200,000 offers on $250,000 homes, there's a spot for the curb for him, and you should kick him to it. All right.
Well, the matter of fact, he was telling me that he's approved for 260, but he want to make an offer for 200. I said, I'm sorry, I cannot work with you.
And that's not bad. All right. So let's move to the next script. Okay. So with the next script, Tanya, are you there? I saw you there earlier. Actually, let's go. If Tanya, you can't hear me, I'm going to talk to you, Tanya, anyway. All right. All right. So another agent told me that they could sell it for $400,000, and you're telling me $350. That's what I'm telling you. And a lot of times people go, well, I want to list with you. Super. I want you to. I want you to list for 400. No. Why not? Because my business and my statistics and my reputation are too important to me to be dishonest with you. Always make it about them. I can't be dishonest with you and tell you that. Well, someone else said they're going to sell it for 400. Okay, let's do this. You let them sell it at 400. But because I told you 350 or 360 is the price, the minute they ask you for a price decrease, write in the listing for you to be able to get out of your listing, and you can come list with me. Now, do people always do that? No, they do sometimes. And sometimes they list with the other guy and it ends up selling exactly where I told them it would anyway. And people go, you didn't get that sell. I didn't, but that seller often comes back to me later. Okay. So if you survive, those sellers are going to come back to you because you were honest with them. You also don't need a listing that's going to sit on the market 12 months and not sell. You just don't need that. Okay. So the single best thing you can do is let another agent take an overpriced listing. I started my career in a very lucky spot. It's when expireds were really rocking out there. And I was generally the second, third, or even fourth realtor on the scene. They don't believe the first guy, but you know who they do believe? The third guy. So try to make yourself the third guy, even though you're the first guy. All right, you want to get ready, everybody get ready for the easiest script out there. I'm about to give you a script that is going to make you so much money. Stephen Giorgenti, I'm going to try to unmute you. Let's see if I can. Can you unmute yourself, Stephen Giorgenti? Ask to unmute. Let's see. All right, Stephen Giorgenti, if you can hear me, this script is just for you. Hey, the previous agent told me, the previous agent said they could get 350. They listed at 350 and it didn't sell. Can we try that price again? And I've got the greatest script in the world, and it's so easy. We can't do that because they use that price up. What? They use that price up. You let them use it. I could have gotten that price 6 months ago, but you gave an agent who couldn't sell your home a chance at that price, and they used it up. That price has been used. No one wants a used price. So I can't tell you how often that script works. If you have members from my team, they'll tell you that script works consistently to get a lower price. So our home was previously listed at 350. Can we try that again? Can't. I would. Sandy McNeil, I would do that for you, Sandy. I can see you. I would do it for you. I like you, Sandy. But Sandy, you use that price up. We can't do that again. All right, here we go. All right. Here's the cockiest script of all, but the single most effective script in my portfolio. And you need to practice the script. You need to get comfortable with this script, because this script will make you a lot of money. Sandy McNeil, do you like to be wrong? Can you unmute? There we go. Sandy
Yes.
McNeil, do you like to be wrong?
I'm going to.
Well, most people say no, right? So no, I don't like to be wrong. You know who
Sorry,
doesn't
I
like-
already read your screen and I'm thinking I agree with this. I want to
Yeah.
be wrong.
Right. So most people say, no, I don't want to be wrong. And I say, you know who doesn't mind being wrong, Sandy McNeil? Me. If
And
you're wrong, Sandy, with your higher price, the home sits on the market week after week. Week after week. And I'm going to call you every week for the weekly phone call, Sandy, because I like you. I'm going to call you every week and check in with you. And you're going to say, Sandy, why didn't my home sell? And I'm going to say something sweet like homes on cul-de-sacs just aren't going like they used to, or the color green's not popular. But in the back of your mind, you're going to be hearing that little voice. And you know what that little voice is going to say? Because you were wrong. So, or we price at my price. If I'm wrong, we have 3 offers the first week. You tell me I'm an idiot and we raise the price. Do you want you to be wrong or do you want me to be wrong, Sandy?
Right.
If you can get away with that script, you've got them. They're going to list with you because you've just shared with them more honesty than any realtor is going to. Okay. Thank you so much, Sandy, for playing along. All right. If they sit on the market, the home gets stale, it sells for less. We all lose. We all lose. I lose, they lose, everyone loses if they're wrong. If I'm wrong, we all win. You want me to be wrong. Okay. So do you like being wrong? Very important script. Okay. The next script. You know what feels bad? Getting rejected feels bad. Not being asked to prom feels bad. Okay. Not getting turned down when you ask someone to prom feels bad. I would know. All right. So I get turned down for a living and it feels bad, but you have to move on. But when your home's on the market, the worst thing is consistently being rejected, and being rejected is not getting an offer. That's the ultimate form of rejection for a house, is not getting an offer. 16 showings, no offer. 30 showings, no offer. That's the ultimate form of rejection. It feels bad. And I tell people, let's start feeling good about ourselves. Let's put the home at a price where we can turn people down. All right, so those of you who are listing agents out there, I'm about to turn on a fan for myself real quick. Why don't you unmute and talk about how good it feels to get multiple offers by being priced right? All right. Nobody took me up on that. All right, here, I've got the fan on now. I feel better. Here we go. All right, so you know what feels great? Rejecting other people's bad offers. So price the home at a place where you can reject offer after offer after offer and feel good about it. I tell people all the time, if we have a full list price offer, and this is the number one script I get, well, Tim, we can't price it there because if I get a full list price offer, I have to take it. No, you don't. You don't have to take a full list price offer because they ask you to pay for title policy. Did you agree to do that? No, it's negotiated. They're going to ask for a July 7th closing date. Did you agree to that? You might want July 8th. Okay. They may ask you, they may pay for survey. Maybe you wanted to pay for survey. I don't know, but you can turn down any offer for any reason. So if someone makes a bad offer to you, that's okay. Okay. If someone makes a full list price offer, if I list it at 400 and you say you don't want to take a $400,000 offer, you don't have to, but let's at least go get some offers. And people, other agents say to me, Tim, you can't raise the price on listings. Sure I do. I do it all the time. If we have a home we're getting multiple offers on, we go in the system and raise the price. It's a great problem to have. Okay. So I tell people all the time, your previous agent's got no offers. Let's get the price right and let's go reject some offers together. You've been getting rejected. Let's go reject some people. All right. When you're in the meeting, you're going to want to talk about having a pricing strategy versus a pricing tactic. Okay. So what that means is, here's the price we need to be at today. Here's my next price decrease after 14 days. Here's my next price decrease after 28. Did your other agent come to you with the pricing strategy? No? That is the most powerful thing you can say. Tell them how important their home success is based on the proper pricing strategy. And again, come with 2 or 3 price decrease forms. Other agents may say, and I always use this, other agents will tell you they won't ask you for a price decrease. I'm telling you up front, Dean, I will ask you for a price decrease. If you're not priced properly, I'm going to ask you for that after week 1. And I'm going to continue to ask for it until it sells. So I set up in advance. I'm not in this to list your house. I'm in the market to get it sold. And I have clients all the time say I bugged them too much during the process. And those same clients give me 5-star reviews when their home sells. Okay? Again, if you put a client in the system, you don't bug them and it sits on the market 6 months, you're going to get crappy reviews. Everybody loves you the day their home closes. Right? Sandy, you've been doing this a while. Does everyone love you the day their home closes? Everybody.
Absolutely.
The day their home closes, you're their best friend. They
I
can't
am.
pick you out
Even
of
if there were issues, they love me then.
Right, exactly. They probably can't pick you out of a crowd 3 years from now unless you've done a good job staying in touch. But the day at the closing table, you're their best friend. Okay. When do most showings occur, people? First 2 weeks?
First 2 weeks.
Yeah, there you go, Steve Giorgetti. Nice to meet you officially, by the way.
Thank you. Nice meeting you too, Tim.
Welcome aboard. All right.
Thank you.
So most showings occur during the first 2 weeks the home's on the market. So get your home priced right there. Okay. How fast should a price decrease happen? About 2 weeks. Days on the market is our single most valuable tool in real estate. Our single most valuable tool. We have a little stat that says if a home sells in the first 30 days on the market, it averages 9 days and 99%. After 30 days, it drops to 92%. Okay. I tell people this all the time, if a home's been on the market a couple days, Steve, if you're making an offer and I tell you if a home's been listed for 2 days, I have 3 offers. Do you believe me? If a home's been listed for 2 days.
Yes.
If a home's been listed for 162 days and I say I have 3 offers, do you believe me?
Nope.
And I've got a decent reputation. People think I'm a decent guy, but you still think I'm full of crap, right?
Yep.
So days on the market is our most valuable tool. I'm the best agent in the world the first 30 days a home's on the market. None of us are as good at negotiating after a market's been on the market, after a home's been on the market 30 days. Okay? All right. So we're still during. Make them sign their pricing selection form. So this form right here, make them sign right here that they selected their price, especially like if I suggested right here, I'm writing 180,000. You see that? And here where it says client selected price, can you guys see my arrow circling?
No.
Okay, see where it says client selected price, right below over here, right below the 203,625 where it says client selected price. 203,625, right below that says client selected price.
Yes, I see it
I
now.
have them sign that they selected that price. When they do that, I ask, are you sure you want to go with that price? I literally shake my head and say, are you sure you want to go with that price? Are you sure? I just want to make sure you're positive. And then I go over and say, okay, you pick 200. I'm suggesting 180. Are you sure you don't want to go with my price? You want to go with my price, don't you? No, you want to go with your price? Okay, so I literally use head motions there. I make them say the price that they picked. So 2 weeks from now, if I call them and their home doesn't sell, and they say, why isn't my home selling? I can say, I can send them over this form that they signed saying, I told you 180. Okay? Very powerful form. All right.
I have a question, Tim. So
Yes,
if I have a client that they believe their home, and they do a lot of research online, they believe their home, they could sell for 500,000, but the market it is supporting a 520. Okay, so higher than what they're expecting. Do you try to convince them for the higher price, or do you just go with what they believe?
The lowest price, the best service I can give people, Steve, and I've been doing this a long time, is get the lowest price they can stomach on the market.
Yep.
Because if they get 525 in 90 days or 500 right now, which is better?
Right now.
Right now.
500. Yep.
Yes, sir. the best thing I can do is get people a price that's going to get them fast offers. There's a
Okay.
home I listed in Memorial. Admittedly, it's when the market was hot, but it's my favorite story, and some of you heard me tell it many times. I priced the home at $525. We had 11, 12 offers the first weekend. We told people we're going to take the highest and best offer Monday. And a guy called me and said, hey, I know you're listed, actually it was 625. I know you're listed at 625. Do you think 650 would do it? And we had several offers in the 640s, and I tried to look cool, and I said, yeah, I think at 650 would have a shot, right? Thinking I'm the smartest man in the world. And he goes, well, tell me more about your client, because we really want this. I said, well, cash would be important to them. He goes, well, we'll make it a cash offer. And I said, well, their home's not going to be done for 2 months after they sell. But he said, we'll let them live there 2 months for free. And I said, I think I can make that work, right? And then you hang up the phone, you're like, right? So I hang up my phone, I call my client, I said, I got a pretty good offer. He goes, 550. He goes, we'll take it. I said, you don't understand, it's better than that. It's 550, you can live in the home 2 months for free, and it's cash. And he goes, did you tell him we'll take it? And I said, well, sir, I'm not allowed to tell people you'll take an offer. And he said, hang up the phone right now, you blankety blank, 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 and tell him we'll take it. And yes, he literally did curse at me. He called me a, four-word cursing. So I don't know if that's a record, but he got 4 curse words off in a row and told me to hang up the phone and take the offer. So I was in that position because we got that home priced properly. Could we have priced it higher? Yes, but I got him everything he wanted. And remember, one thing I want to stress to you guys, price isn't the only valuable thing you get your client, okay? Fast closes, lease backs. I tell people price is the least important part of the negotiation. All right, so Steve, if I told you I'm going to give you $500,000 on your home in 7 years, but I'll give you $500,000 in 7 years, and there's another offer that's $425,000 right now, and your home's worth about $450,000.
Yep, I would take the 425 right now.
Yeah. So price is the least important thing if it's not timed up with timing. So make sure you stress to people, you're not taking the highest offer, you're taking the best offer. What can we do to make something a best offer for you? And sometimes it's quickness, sometimes it's lease back. I had a client that had to have a 4-month lease back no matter what I did. They took a crappier offer because they needed a 4-month lease back because the cost of moving twice out of state was tough. All right. So I have these 3 little boxes: price home below expectations, price home at expectations, and a price a little above expectations. You need a PYS price. That's the pack your stuff price. There's a certain price that you should be prepared to walk away from a listing for. And you need to know that going in, okay? The trend report really helps you set that. So you really want that, okay? The most expensive thing in our business, the single most expensive thing, is a listing that sits on the market. There's nothing more expensive than a listing that just sits there. Steve Montgomery, you've been in this long enough. You've had a listing that sat on the market. So have I. You have to call that client every week. You have to deal with their BS. Is it worth having a 9-month listing with an a-hole?
Never.
Never. You and I shared an a-hole, and he was terrible for both of us. Stevie was an a-hole to you. He was an a-hole to me. He was an a-hole to the next person. Has that home ever sold, by the way, Steve? Have you checked up on it?
It has not sold, oddly enough.
That's a
And
huge
it's gone through
surprise.
3 other realtors, Tim.
Huge surprise that you and I could misprice it that badly. Huge surprise. All right. The best sales tool you have is a listing that sold. Okay. When I sell a listing, we door knock around that listing. We drop off flyers around that listing. It's the best use of your time. When I used to door knock more, and I will be honest to say I'm doing a lot more commercial and haven't been door knocking as much. When I door knock, I make $400 an hour door knocking. $400 an hour. I've calculated it over the years. Based on the listings that I get, I make $400 an hour to door knock. Lawyers don't make $400 an hour. Well, some do, most don't. Some plumbers do. But anyway, it's a profitable thing to do. All right. And the best clients are clients that you sold. And the best chance you have to succeed on their home are fast. So Steve, even Giorgenti, even if someone says, if you think they can get a little more, sometimes the worst thing you can do is tell them that. I know that's not true. Now, if someone's off drastically and they say 325 and it's 500, for God's sake, don't do that to them. But usually people have a pretty good idea. All right. And also the one thing I will say is, are they really underpricing it because they know their neighborhood better than you do? And they know their home better than you do.
Right.
So an hour spent doing pricing properly there with them is worth months, is much better than months with an unhappy client. So that's the big finish in your home. So a couple things, I'm going to go back. Hold on, previous. All right, so after you leave the listing, your single most valuable tool is your weekly phone call. So don't take a listing if you can't afford to call the client each week. I call the clients every Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday. I prefer Tuesdays or Thursdays. Mondays are usually terrible. But I call the clients once a week. I'm not calling them to check in and tell them I like them. I'm calling them to, I pulled comps on their home if I can, if I had time that week. So I pulled comps. I've looked at what's going on with their listings. I've seen if they've had showings. So I'm calling to say, you had 0 showings this week. And they'll go, well, you know, you're my agent. It's your house, man. So are you gonna price it, paint it, or be patient? All right, so I pull comps. I pull fresh comps. I pull fresh trend reports to show up. And again, all a trend report is last year versus this year. That's all a trend report is. Here's last year's sales, here's this year. It's a fancy way of saying last year versus this year. It sounds cooler though, doesn't it, Sandy? Trend reports? Then here's last year's sales. All right, so I'm going to pull last year's sales and I'm going to pull this year's sales and I'm going to show them to them. All right, and that is very powerful. And I'm going to talk to them each week about lowering the price of their home. And I'm going to be a pain in the ass about it.
This is done weekly with your client? Okay.
Every week I call my listed clients. And if they're home, if they have like 16 showings, I'm not going to beat them up. If they had, and if they have an offer, by the way, Steve Gergenti, I stop calling them. So once an offer comes in, my closing team takes over completely. I try not to call my clients because I just get in the way. And if my closing team was here, they would tell you, he just gets in the way. He says stupid stuff. He doesn't know what he's talking about. My real estate knowledge is staggeringly overestimated. Okay. My pricing ability is staggeringly underestimated, and my ability to get offers on homes is staggeringly underestimated. But my actual knowledge of contracts and real estate sucks because I don't want to know it, because I can pay someone to do that for me. And they're better than me. So Sandy McNeil, you have a question. I saw you raise your hand.
Well, actually, I was going to say the point about the CSS search ranges. Every Monday on my listings, especially ones that I feel like I want to really point out to my clients what price range is really getting the most attention, I break it out and send to them in their area exactly how many open houses were showing up on CSS. And I break it down and tell them exactly which price range too it was in.
Perfect. And it's powerful. So each Monday is a chance to have another mini listing appointment. And that's powerful. Every week you have a chance to have a mini listing. I had the toughest team leader I've ever had, and she and I got along like oil and water, and her name was Gina. I've gotten along in general with every team leader I've had, especially the fabulous Miss Montgomery. I've had great team leaders, but one team leader hated me as much as I hated her. We were oil and water. We just did things differently. And I was a new agent, and I'd gotten up to 30 listings, 30. And I was so proud of myself. But you know what those listings weren't doing? They weren't selling. And that's back when listings were cheap, Steve. Everybody could get listings because they were all sitting on the market for 200 days. There are plenty of listings out there. So I went out and got 30 listings. And Gina was really tough, and she did me the greatest service. She said, are you calling your listings every week? And I said, I don't have time to call my listings every week. And she said, if you don't have time to call a listing once a week, you don't have time for that listing. And it was harsh, and she was really mean to me about it. She goes, you're my best listing agent, and right now you're my number 2 producer. My number 1 producer has 5 listings. And all his were under contract and mine weren't. I was just taking overpriced listings and just moving on. I was new. I didn't know any better, except I had a lot of listings. I was proud of that at the time. So your weekly call is your most valuable gift you can give your client. Again, are you doing it for you or are you doing it for your client? You're doing it for your client. Okay, so I'm going to ask you, I'm going to give you guys a chance for questions. Before I do, my personal home 1803 Fieldbriar is listed. I will ask any of you, we just moved out about a week ago. We're considering giving it a full round of paint. If you can, show it. If you can't, pull comps on me and tell me if you think I'm priced properly. I would love it if you did that for me. That would be fantastic. Hold on, I'll put my address on the sheet if I can. I'll put my email. I would love your opinion on where I'm priced. It's 4,000 square feet in a pool in Chesterfield, which is right next to Cinco Ranch and goes to all Cinco Ranch schools. Boom, there's my email. So if you can, look at that property for me. I owe you. Any questions for me?
1 story or 2 story?
2-story, 4,000 square feet with a pool, master down, of course. Kitchen remodel. It's got blue labradite in the kitchen. If you don't know what that is, that's a granite you walk around and it turns different colors. Pretty cool.
Okay.
Gorgeous older home. Any chance you get to promote your listings, you should promote your listings, especially when your wife's your client and you're your client, right? All right. Questions for me, guys? You're not going to hurt my feeling. No, I can't grow hair. Yes, Andy McNeil. You're on mute.
No question. I was just giving you a thumbs up on the comment about your wife being your client.
Oh, yeah. Hey, and I give her a weekly call just like I do every other client.
I
Miss
love
Soika,
it.
and it's Miss Soika, you had 11 showings this week. No, I don't have an offer for you yet. Yes, I did tell you $425 was the right price. I'm sorry I don't have that yet. And she's no tougher. She's as equally as tough as every client I have. She's very fair.
I love it.
She does give me some grace that some of my clients don't. Thank God for that, right? She's still a pretty good wife, even though I don't have her home sold in 10 days. It's 1 day.
Mhm.
All right. Any questions out there?
I put
Tim.
a question in the chat.
I'm sorry, speak up. Who is it?
This is Carmen. There's a question in the chat box.
There's a question, what?
In the chat box, how to do a
Chat box.
CSS, how to do a CSS search for us, for us rookies.
Oh, how do you do a CSS search? Let me see if I can show you real quick. Boom. Can you, let me see, stop share. Give me 1 second. Okay, hey guys, we're gonna do a quick CSS search because I got asked. So let's try that together. So let's try to, let me get there first. So let me get to HAR. I'm gonna show you the easiest way because I don't do anything the hard way in real estate. Real estate is hard enough without making it harder. Does everyone agree with that? Okay, so we're gonna try to share screen. I've read this. Search single family. All right, so we'll see if this works. Share screen here. Share. Still showing my PowerPoint. You guys still can't
No,
see my
we see HAR.
Okay, you do see HAR. Super.
Yep.
All right, because I don't see that you can see HAR. So, all right, so I'm going to start. So I'm here in HAR. I'm going to go search, and most of the things we do are single family, right? We won't worry
Yep.
about townhomes right now. So I'm going to go single family. Okay. Then I'm going to check active. Well, before I do that, I'm going to put in the address. Does anybody have a home they would like me to do a comp on?
Yeah, you could do mine.
Hit me, Steve. What's your address?
382, 382, sorry.
382.
Yep, Galley Way, Galley
All right, so I
Way.
put 382 Galley, Galley.
UI.
The system should pick it up. Boom. Galleyway in
That's it.
Montgomery. Is that you, Steve?
That's me.
All right. So I made sure I have that. So first, I make sure that that box filled in. Okay. And it auto-filled. It automatically selects within a half mile of you. Steve, is it an acreage property or anything special I need to know about?
Yes, it's acreage property.
How many acres is it on?
1 acre.
All right. So I'm going to go out about 2 miles since it's an acreage property. We might come back. I'm going to pick active, pending, option pendings, pending, solds, withdrawns, expireds, and terminated. Did everybody see that?
Yep,
All right, Steve, about how many square feet is your home?
2150.
2150?
Yep,
All right, so I'm going, for now, I'm just going to go down and I'm going to see how many homes I have within 2 miles of him. All right, I got 286. But we know it's on an acre. So let's start with lot size. And because his is on an acre, I'm going to start with about a half acre and go to about 2 acres. And I'm just estimating an acre is 4,356. So I'm going half acre to 2 acres. That took us down to 46 properties. Hey, Steve, what year was your home built?
2015.
2015, so it's newer. So I'm gonna, under year built, I'm gonna put 2000, let's say 2000 or newer, so 2000 plus. Okay, and that takes us down to 41. So actually I can do a little better. I'm gonna go
2010.
2010 plus.
Yeah.
And now we have 30 homes. So now I can go in and put in size. Steve, you said it's about 2,000 square feet?
Yeah, do 2,000 to 3,000. That's what I would do if I was doing
Oh,
this.
it's 2,000, how many square feet?
2150.
All right, so I'm gonna go like 1,600 to 2,700.
Okay.
I don't want to go all the way up to 3,000 because that's really a different house than a 2,100 square foot home. So now I have 4 matches. Okay, so let's just look at those 4 and see what I really have. If I have 3 solds, I'm good. I have 2 solds and a pending, so I have some pretty good comps. One sold at 475, one sold at 395, one's under contract for 434. But look over here at this pricing per square foot.
Yep.
166, 178, 182, 148. It's all pretty close. And it doesn't seem to be tied with price of yard. So it's going to be, I would go in and look at each of these homes and just look at, hey, what they have to offer versus my home.
Okay.
So I would print off the full report. So that's a really easy comp. Let's do an easier one like in Cinco Ranch. Let's actually, we can do my house just really quickly. It's not in Cinco Ranch, but it's close. Okay, so I'm going to go search single family. Okay, my address is 1803 Fieldbriar, 1803 Field. And by the way, people ask, do you put in neighborhood? If I can, yes. In Cinco, of course, I'm going to put in neighborhood and only pull Cinco to Cinco. If it just depends, but generally the answer is yes, I do pull neighborhoods, but I start with just putting in the address till this picks it up. 1803 Fieldbriar, there it is. Got it. So I captured that. Did everybody see that? And I'm only starting a quarter mile from my house, active, option pendings, pending, sold. Now my home has a pool, but I'm not checking that yet. So I'm scrolling down. So I start broad and get narrow. So by starting broad, I have 8 matches. So I'm going to actually just look at those 8 matches now and see if I need to narrow it. I hit results, and there are several homes around mine. Now mine's priced at 425. Let's see. And these other homes are priced higher per square foot. But again, they're in Cinco and I'm not. There are some advantages to being in Cinco. So if I was really going to pull a comp to my home, I would put in the neighborhood Chesterfield. But I'm literally, okay, so we do have 4 comps if I put in Chesterfield. There we go. It's sold. And I'm going to put in a pool, if I can. That takes me down to 3. I'm just going to pull results. And you see one sold at 84 square foot, one's pending at 99. And Rochester terminated. That's a lease. Oh, I put private pool notice. Sorry, private pool. Yes, there we go. Yeah, I'm the only home with a pool, so I can't include pools. All right. So
Would you
I
go
have
more
a
than
pool.
180 days, Tim?
I'm sorry, what?
Ever go more than 180 days, more than 6 months?
I do, yes. So if I don't have enough comps, I will. In this market, that might be a little crazy, but yes, I do. You do what you have to do to get them 6 or 8 showings. If you got to go out, so I always tell people, start broad with your search and see how many searches you have, see what you have. Then if you have to go broader, do. Then if you can go more narrow, do. So I'm going to start within a quarter mile, just a general listing. Then if I can add pools. In Cinco, generally, a 3,000 square foot home with a pool, within a quarter mile, I got 8 comps. But in some neighborhoods, I don't. So those are really basic comps. Is start with the neighbor, or start with the address, and start this little button a quarter mile out, half mile out, 2 miles out. That's really valuable when you're in the country, Steve Gergenti. Okay. Over here, this neighborhood, if you just want to search by neighborhood, like let's say I took out my address, you can just search by neighborhood too, right? So you can do it however you want. But the most powerful thing this new version of Hard gave us is this search within a mile or 2 or a quarter mile of your home, because a home in Cinco isn't a home in Cinco, right? A home in North Lake Village is not the same as a home in Cinco Ranch Northwest. They were built 20 years apart. One's on a golf course, one's not. Start as broad as you can. Also remember, spend some time here finding out about schools. Investigate it, really go through it. The more comps you pull, I can pull comps in 10 minutes now, but it still takes me 30 minutes to pull good comps. Okay?
Hey, Tim,
Yes.
I think they would also like to see, when we were talking about the showings that were occurring in CSS, I think some of the newer agents are not understanding how we pull those trend reports in CSS. Well, I guess now it's showing time services.
Yeah, showing time, within showing time.
I think that was actually the question from the original.
Yeah, so let me see if I can get there, Sandy. Give me 1 second. Are you there? I can share my screen with you, maybe. Hold on.
I don't know how to do that, but I can pull in real quick if you can.
Yeah,
share.
so basically, you guys, you go into showing time and you go to reports, and it's there.
It's the
Okay.
very one on the bottom.
Yeah, so go into showing time and go to reports. That's all you need to do. Use showing time, go there for reports. So that's kind of everything I've got for today. I'm gonna head out. Like I said, a couple favors. Look at 1803 and email me what you think about it. I would appreciate that. And
I have one.
think-
I'm sorry, I have one quick question.
Yes, sir.
On the showing time reports, I can look at active listings around my listing to see how many showings they're getting, right?
It won't show you how many showings each specific listing is getting, but it will group them as a whole. It won't say, but it won't say Steve Montgomery's listing is getting 2 and you're getting 1. You suck you suck twice as bad.
50%,
right?
yeah.
Or he's
Yeah.
twice as good as you. Sorry, Steve. But what it will say is the other homes around you sold for this. If there's just one other home, you know it's Steve's, right? But in general, it won't tell you agent. It's not a good agent to agent comparison. It's not something you can use for that, but it is good to show what the other homes are showing or how often they're showing.
That's what I'm looking for. Okay, perfect.
All
Thanks.
Yeah,
right.
it actually worked really well for me because I have a listing that's on 4 acres, and I had tried to get my clients to split it up since those 4 acres are 2 and 2. They just have it grouped together. And I was trying to show them that the price range we're in, including that other 2 acres, is higher than what all the others are getting showings for. Whereas if we broke it apart and just did the 2 acres with the house and workshop and then sold the other property separate. So it proved my point.
All right. That's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for being here. I consider it an honor that you tuned in. If there's anything you need from me, a lot of you guys have my cell phone. You can track me down. If you catch me and you hang up going, can you talk too fast and you tried to get off the phone too quickly? Yes. Any of you who talk to me will know that. I do have HDD really badly, correct, Steve Montgomery? One time my assistant, somebody called my assistant and said, Tim hung up on me. He didn't hang up on you, sir. He was done. All right. So I moved real quickly. I apologize in advance if you call. I will answer your question as fast as I can and then move to the next thing because my ADD is going to kick in. So I apologize. Thank you guys for everything and thanks for being here. Okay. Thank
Thanks,
you, Madeline,
Tim.
for setting
Thank
this up.
you.
You rock.
Yep,
Are you
bye,
able
guys.
to share the presentation, Tim?
Yes, I can actually email. If you guys email me, my email was on an earlier screen. Actually, I'll email it to Madeline. How does that sound?
Okay, perfect.
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 All right. I
Thank
will
you.
email it to Madeline. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank
thanks. Have a great
you.
day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.